Okay, hello folks, welcome back to my channel. Decollab Tech and RL here, just back with a little update. I got this one box, that technically speaking was supposed to be on there for that one. Well, it wasn't long enough, but I found a quote-unquote replacement to that one on Amazon, which is gonna house all of this. So what we are doing now is making it so that way the house can get back one of its thin rails, and I am mounting that box here. So then these cables will come in here, and then the fuse will be mounted in here, and then I'm thinking about maybe opening this hole and making it so that way I can run this fuse in here as well to power that outlet, and then just maybe link off of leg 1 and neutral into that one. And potentially, well, if I had the correct thin rail I could, but technically speaking I could just link from leg 3 and neutral, technically speaking. Because it is just an L3 and L1 feed anyway, since we're on a 3-phase system, so it wouldn't matter anyway. So I'm gonna mount this box, and then I'll be back. We're back, and I got all the screws in the box. So, oops, that one pulled out a little bit too much. So we're gonna mount in our fuse. Ow. Okay, let me do the other one with both hands. That'll work. Oh. Yeah, but there we go. That's the fuse mounted in. So now all of these schlunks just need to feed into this one somehow. So that's going to be the fun part. This is going to be a pain in the butt. And then we have this one on a rail, which is a little flimsy right now, but it will be less flimsy once we get wherever the fuck I put it. Well, I put it here somewhere. Well, anywho, when I get the lid on there, so I'm gonna take and route the cables, and those are gonna be a complete pain in the butt, but I got them in just about. So now, this ground going for it will go out here and hook on to the rest of the ground up and out here. Then these cables need to feed down into this box and then run along to their designated posts. So I'm gonna do that, and then we'll be back. The fuse in. So now this panel will go over here, but we are able to quote unquote fit some more fuses in here. Which means I'm wondering if I should pull that through here and move some stuff around. I already know I'm gonna have to punch out one of these, because if not, the panel won't fit anyway. So what we're gonna do is, since I have no idea where my X-Acto knife is, we're gonna use my karambit, and we're gonna cut along this piece right here a little bit. There we go. She split it, and then we just kind of wiggle her around till she gets loose enough. Wherever the fuck did I throw the... I threw it over here, didn't I? Yes, there. So there we go. Howdy. So basically, once this thing goes on, it's gonna look something like that. And we can fit totally fine a fuse besides there. Which means ideally I would prefer to run these cables in through this box. And have those speaker outputs also be active. Although if I'm gonna have those active, it means I'm gonna have to have the L3 leg active constantly. Anyway, if I want to use a jumper, which I kinda do want to. Because if not, that one is dead. Well, I'll see what I do. Well, we are back, and I have decided I had a little bit of a collector rail left over. I was just laying on top of here, so I snipped off a piece, taped off the end I snipped on, because it's pretty empty on this side. So I'm just gonna go in here and just do clonk, clonk. Since that's the way it's getting power in, it's getting power from that side of the fuse, since it's kind of inverted here because of how it's laid out. So I'm just going to go from there into the other fuse and call it a day. So let me move this schlonk down. After moving the collector rail and finding out something mildly concerning, which was that this one was never tightened down after this entire thing got changed around before I moved up north. So that's mildly concerning. But anywho, I've got the fuse moved down here, even though this plastic rail is currently under a bit of stress. So basically, these cables are going to be redirected through this hole right there, then go into this one. And then I'm just going to put that jumper from leg 3 and neutral over to this fuse. So yeah. So, we'll be BRB once I've done that. We are back, and I've got the collector rail bridging leg 3 and neutral over to the other fuse, which, well, technically is just L2, L3 and L1, since it's a 3-phase system. So, yeah. So that means we should now be able to pull these through here, attach them to the fuse, run the neutral back over there. And we should also be able to get life in that outlet again. So I'm gonna move these cables and then we'll be back. We are back, and I got all the cables connected. So we're now gonna throw on the... well, I now see that I should have taken from the other side. Let me remove from the other side, and we'll be back because I can't move these further that way. Okay, we are back, and I removed from the other side now. So now we should be able to get this box on. There we go. the box is on. So then we got this fuse, and then we got the other fuse. It's either here. So now I just need to put labels on them, and then these should work. But now the fun thing is gonna be to check if that outlet works. But first now let's power on this shite, and let's power on the 3-phase, and let's check if we have power over here. And indeed power over here we have. Because if I now go over here, we have lights over there, which means this one works. This means this one should, theoretically speaking, also work fine. Which I wish I had a simple way of testing out, but I do not. Really. Well, I mean, technically I do. I'll just use my multimeter. This one has power, right? Yes. So then we turn on this fuse if I don't hit the fucking RCD trip in the same matter of time. But I'm gonna try to balance you folks in my anime shelf, or anime figure shelf, if you will. And then I'm gonna put this thing on to AC volts. We should have 221 volts, and we should have about 130 volts, 135.6 volts over to neutral, which means indeed our power down here works. So I would call that a successful install. So yeah. And then I have another shelf another box which is gonna be on there. And then I technically speaking have a 2-row box, which all this plus this was gonna go in now. But I think I'll just leave this in its own box for now, the 3-phase and that one, since it's mainly used for audio. It can just stay down in here, so yeah. I will maybe, if I can find an Eaton fuse which has a ground trip fault, then I'll probably get that as well. Just for extra security, since because of the way I'm running this 3-phase, I'm using one leg here, one leg here, one leg here, plus the neutral. I can't use a ground fault fuse for leg 1 and leg 2, because those would trip when they will pull on only one side, because it thinks the second leg, or the neutral, if you will, is going directly to ground, that is bonded. So it would be nice to have a ground fault down here, because this would detect this as normal. But if there was a ground fault on the output side of things, it would trip. So now, technically speaking, since this is going reversed, I don't know if that would work, but well, I mean it does, because this one trips. So it's fine. Anywho, that is this finally mounted in a box. So I'm gonna label those a little later. Because now, as it has started to get kind of dark outside, I'm going to right around the corner head up over to 7-Eleven. Because my package... Excuse me, I turned the flash off. Because my package ended up there instead of coming on my door, which it normally does when I order stuff from Toner Web. So I gotta head up there and get that, which is the yellow label band for my Dymo and the ink for my printer. So yeah, so I'll update you guys after that, so you can see the labels on. So we obviously knew I forgot something, because I'm sitting here editing this video right now. It's one day later, but here the boxes with the labels on. So we got the 3-phase plus north out, fuse 7, and the shelf out, which is the outlet down there on F8, which is currently turned off. But we got the power, so it's working pretty nice. I should have left in this little slunk and tried to move this a little more that way to get it to fit properly, but I had to take out one there. So this is how it's looking. And here is where the lid on. You guys saw earlier in the video how it looked inside. After all, everything was connected on. Now, just to clear up some potential confusion, we are in this house. We are actually on a 3-phase system in the main rack. But it's only an I2 system, it's not a TN system, so we do not have 3-phase plus north. So what we have L1, L2 and L3, and where this is getting power from is from a 25 amp fuse line, which is getting L3 and L1, and my kitchen is getting a feed from my 16 amp fuse and throughout here, and that one is getting L1 and L2. Or no, L2 and L3. Which means I technically speaking have 3 phases in the apartment. But we do not have the north. So basically what we're doing here is that this fuse is getting L3 and L1. This thin rail, I know it's inverted, but it's because I had to run this below for how I have it set up currently. So basically we got this one providing L1. This fuse providing L2, this fuse providing the L3 and the neutral to this one. So we're practically feeding this fuse L3, L1, L3, L1. So we're basically just feeding this fuse 2 sets of L3 and L1, just so that way I can get 230 volt across that entire board. So for this exact config that I'm using this 3-phase for, at the moment, this works fine, but in a normal setup, you would have an actual TN system where L1, L2, L3, and north are present. So, yeah. So that's how it's set up right now, providing the power. And this is going to be the end to this video. So, I want to say thank you guys for watching. Been Live Tech and RL here. If you liked the video, a like would be greatly appreciated. And as always, check out links down below. So yeah, other than that, stay tuned and stay awesome. And Live out.